I didn't break, I made it out. Those heavy days don't bring me down anymore. I found a way to make them count, 'cause I let the light in, yeah. I gotta feel it, I feel it. My head is at home, and when I'm breathing, I'm letting it go. No, no more sleeping, no reason to be in here alone. No more digging up the sad soul. I gotta
Good afternoon, everyone, and a warm welcome for joining us to the 5th edition of Serious Rough Pitch, the Balkan Way. My name is Martina Petrovic. I'm head of Creative Europe Media Desk Croatia, and I'm going to be your host of today's event. I'm going to be a bit longer than usual, since we are celebrating 5 years of this beautiful initiative, which actually is not just another pitching event. It has turned to an important capacity building initiative for talents coming from the Western Balkans and beyond. Why is that so? By offering, first of all, mentorship, then visibility, but also concrete development opportunities, we also managed to contribute to a lot of healing and reconciliation through so important storytelling that supports a new generation of creators who are developing their narratives that inspire and connect with wider audiences across borders. By doing so, this initiative fosters dialogue but also mutual understanding, reminding us of the importance of power of culture that can bridge divides and that can create this beautiful joint vision of a more collaborative and hopeful future. Being inspired by a wonderful Lee Lamp, founder of listen to this, the School for Sacred Storytelling, and to whose newsletters I've been subscribed to, just a couple of days, either by accident or by chance, the title of a newsletter was The Story of Change. And sharing her personal anecdote, the story of tomorrow, it's not only her favorite, but also I can resonate well with this. It can be the story of all of us, or one of our favorites, because everything we don't want to do, face or leave, we will just keep it to the land of tomorrow. But living in these really challenging times, the story of change needs to happen today. Right here, right now, with one word and one action. And if you allow me, this is our motto and inspiration when organizing Serious Rough Pitch, the Balkan Way. We want to see the story of change taking place today. Of course, I'm not alone in this mission. And this is what we prove each time we organize something together. So us, Creative Europe Media Desks, we don't only advise and consult, we also organize meaningful initiatives that bring change. So a big thank you goes to my partners in crime, or shall I call you today partners in change, starting in a country alphabetical order. Cyprus, Nikos Georgodius, Pantelia Virides and Nenad Bogdanovic. Greece, Anna Kasimati and Alex Tsiakoniatis. Hungary, Adam Pasternak and Agnes Laura Kovac. Montenegro, Ivana Đurašković. Serbia, Una Domazetoski, Ana Ćosić and Milan Đorđević. And of course, the event was also supported because without their great support, we couldn't have done it as well. But thanks to the Croatian Audiovisual Center, the Film Center of Montenegro, the Film Center of Serbia, and the Organization for European Programs and Cultural Relations in Cyprus, we are here today. This year, we had a record number of 47 applications, selecting 8 projects from 6 countries. A wonderful reminder of how vital and inspiring it is to create spaces like this for regional storytellers. Before the pitching event, the participants took part in a mentoring program with 2 inspiring mentors and coaches, Helen Granqvist, producer from Sweden, and Valeria Richter, screenwriter from Denmark, who really guided them to find their voice, their truth, and the courage to share their story with us. So I would like to warmly welcome Helen.
because it's the 5th year we are doing this, we can always see a pattern. And this year it was a very clear pattern of transformation, healing, and it might sound weird, but trauma bonding, the need of meeting each other in trauma to heal them. So it's been a fantastic journey, and it's 8 fantastic projects. They all deserve all the prizes you can imagine. And I'm so grateful for being part of this. It's been a fantastic journey. So thank you, Martina.
Thank you, Helen, for being us throughout those 5 years. And I would also like to hear Valeria. Would you like to share your thoughts as well?
Yeah, I mean, I agree completely with what Helen said. And I also really want to thank the participants for trusting us this week and allowing us into their story worlds and playing so much with them during the week, pushing them a little bit to test how far we can go in bringing their stories from the paper and into their bodies and their voices and on the videos that you will see. So thank you so much to the participants.
Thank you for being with us as well. Thank you. And of course, this year we have a wonderful jury with us. So I would also like to introduce them to you, starting with Anna Rode Zeifrit, International Creative Executive from Beta Group Content and Co-Production. Anna, welcome. You are for the first time with us. So can you also share with us your thoughts? And just,
thank you very much for having me, Martina. I'm very happy to be with you, and it's a great pleasure. And I'm very much looking forward to the pitches. And I'm very happy to announce later on our co-development award from Beta's side. This is not a financial award, but a working tool award. So the project will be with us in our development team, and we will have to support it to the next level. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. The next one I would like to introduce is Colline Garbage. Bonjour, Colline, Co-Pro Pitching Session and IP Market Project Manager from Serious Mania. The longest title you have. Bonjour, Colline.
Bonjour. Nice to be with you today. I'm very happy to participate this year for the first time. Sorry for the long job title, but we'll be happy to. I'm very happy to be with you today, and as a representative of Series Mania Forum, I will be happy to award a project to attend and to have an accreditation to participate to the next edition of the Series Mania Forum in the next March. Thank you very much.
Merci, Colline. And we have a person who was joining us also last year, and we are happy to have her back again. Rosa Toivonen, co-head TV Beats Forum, taking place during the Tallinn Black Nights, happening quite soon, right, Rosa? Welcome.
Thank you so much, Martina. Exactly, Tallinn, the TV series Sidebar of the Industry at Tallinn is going live quite soon, 17th and 18th of November. And thus we are looking forward to seeing many of our colleagues there. And of course, we're also granting an accreditation for next year's event to one of the projects. So happy to be here, and amazing pitch. Really enjoyed all of them.
Thank you. And the next one I would also like to welcome is Filson Ali. She is today here on behalf of the WIFT Sweden as a board member, but she's also Camera X co-founder and creative producer at European Producers Club. So warm welcome to Filson.
Hi everyone, thank you for having me, and I'm looking forward to see the pitches again, and thank you for trusting me. So yeah, it was very exciting to hear everybody's pitches, so looking forward to it. Thanks.
Thank you, Filson. And also, I would like to welcome Dina Rubanovic. She's Director Strategy and Business Development at Erich Pommer Institute. So, guten Tag, Dina.
Hi, Martina. Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for having me. It's a great pleasure and honor to be here. Very happy to meet with the other colleagues and to see the pitches. And we're also awarding an EPI award, which will be a training scholarship for one of our international trainings next year. So looking forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you, Dina. And last but not the least, we also have a man in the jury. So I would like to welcome Wade Channel, CEO of Damn Fool Productions. So welcome, Wade. It's quite late wherever you are, right? Do we have Wade?
Actually, it's early. It's 5 a.m. here. And it is wonderful to wake up to this group and to this event. I just can't wait to binge on all these shows in the comfort of my own home at some point. But I have the honor of being here to present the WIFTI Peace Prize, Women in Film and Television International. WIFTI, as you know, started to support women film producers. It has come a long way, and I have actually been included in it a couple of times, and I'm very grateful because we're all part of the same team, and I'm looking forward to presenting a prize on behalf of WIFTI.
Thank you so much, Wade. Just in case that our audience didn't get all the awards, let me repeat some of them that were not mentioned, and also those that were. So I definitely think that it's not going to be an easy decision for the jury members because this year we do have a strong selection of projects. So for this reason and for the 5th edition, we managed to gather quite some awards. So the first one is the jury award for the best speech of 5,000 euros. Then what Wade mentioned, the WIFTI Peace Prize with 3,000 euros. Co-development award, including the LOI on behalf of Beta Film, what Anna highlighted. EPI scholarship on behalf of Dina and Erich Pommer Institute. Special mention by mentors for the project that really made a huge progress through the mentoring program. And of course, accreditations for TV Bits Forum and Serious Mania Forum 2026. So just before we really dive in with announcing the projects and their teams, I also want to forward my big thank you to participants for a huge commitment they gave us in terms of their also generosity, but also for being brave. I truly feel privileged to be part of this developing process. And I'm also inspired and honored to be part of their storytelling. So let us start. The first project comes from Croatia. The title is Suspicious Circumstances, to be presented by a creator, Daria Stilin. Let's have a look at the video.
Whether you have children or not, nothing hits as hard as when something terrible happens to a child. It's every parent's worst nightmare and every detective's hardest case. Because when a child goes missing, it's not just a crime, it's a whole that swallows everybody around it. The parents, the siblings, the community. The world doesn't make sense anymore. And that's exactly where our story begins. We are in Dubrovnik, Croatia. Paradise. The sun is shining, the skies are blue, the sea, it's like a postcard. But underneath, ugly, ugly things are lying. And in our story, an 8-year-old wound of a missing girl is about to resurface. Here's Lucy, a British detective who hates that sun that see the postcard beauty. She absolutely does not want to be here. Her boss sends her because the original investigator on the case of a British girl kidnapped on family holiday, now dead, is Lucy's ex-boyfriend, a high-ranked officer she exposed for corruption. Arriving there, Lucy meets Maro, the local Croatian inspector who worked on the case 8 years ago and still carries the guilt of not being able to solve it. They clash immediately. Different temperaments, different ways of doing the job. She demands to know why he left out crucial details out of the report. He left them out on purpose because he knows it's going to sound crazy. He found the remains because the local boy gave him clues, details no one else could know, since the boy claims he's her reincarnation. And that's when everything begins to unravel, because from this moment on, it's a story about what this loss did to everybody who survived it and dealt with it. The older sister, left behind and full of guilt. The father who kept quiet about his business relations maybe having caused this crime. The mother who turned a blind eye, trying to preserve her family, or what's left of it. The little boy who should not know the things that he does. His parents who don't know how to tackle the media attention. Trust is at stake for everybody involved. For Lucy, this case means facing what she's been avoiding her entire life. Emotion, affection. But this family's pain and her uneasy partnership with Maro, it starts to break through her shell. Maro has the family that Lucy never chose and is quietly falling apart. He tries to do the right thing, but it's killing him inside. In the end, everybody must face what they fear the most. That reality is sometimes just meaningless, an accident, no harmful intentions, just loss, impossible to bear. Suspicious Circumstances is a British Croatian crime drama series about grief, guilt, karma, and hope, in 6 episodes, 50 minutes each. It's a co-production between Antitalent from Croatia and Frank Spotnitz Big Light Productions in the UK, with Sergio Mimica-Gecan attached to direct. Our Croatian public broadcaster is already on board, and we are now in the advanced stage of development and financing, with, among other things, scripts for episodes 1 and 2 in place. What we are looking for are co-producers, distributors, and broadcasters. Thank you.
Let's see who wants to start first opening the floor. Do we have a question either for Daria or Danijel?
First, loved this story. I was really taken by the captivating start. Looking at a world that doesn't make sense anymore. That sort of fits my world right now, living here in Washington, D.C. Anyway, I'm looking at this from the point of peace, reconciliation, forgiveness, repair, healing. I'm just curious in the storyline, how do the relationship conflicts resolve? We have a lot of, as you say, facing reality, grief, guilt, karma, hope. How do we get to hope?
I think this is a question for Daria.
Yes, thank you so much for your kind words and for your question. Well, hope is a tricky thing. Eventually you get there. I mean, it's there throughout the story in, thinking whether that's something that's gone, like this little girl who went missing and is now dead. Like, can she really be in some way still here through this little boy? We're constantly questioning that because it's so bizarre and seemingly impossible. But there's hope for some of the self-forgiveness. For example, her sister, who is carrying that guilt because she was supposed to be with her that night, and then she blames herself that she went missing, and then she's been living with this for 8 years, dealing with severe mental health issues, and just trying to get to that place of can I move on, like, finally from this? And I mean, this whole family, to be honest, karma, in a way that some characters, especially the dad, did some stuff that can it be forgiven? Is it now like karma? Is it now paying for his sins? Which can be said also for certain policemen on both sides in the UK and in Croatia, who did some bad things. I hope that answers the question I'm trying to think. But Daniel, you're free to jump in, even though it's not a production question per se.
Yeah, but maybe Daniel can add up something.
What I think that during the season, the main characters also find something which they're both coming into the situation, into the world of the series. They're both coming with their own burdens and their own previous problems. In this case or other cases, and through this meeting and through this cooperation that connects them, I think they find something which helps them to evolve as a human beings, as a person. And I think the case, which includes very vulnerable subject, is something which is kind of catalyzing this process.
Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you, Daniel.
Yeah, I also say
I just want to watch it more now. So hurry up. I'm impatient to see this.
Thank you. And we have another question coming from Anna.
Yeah, thank you, Daria and Daniel. It was really intriguing, and as you know, I already know the pitch, and I really love it because all the questions, story and plot and karma and tonality, this is really intriguing. I'm very much looking forward to reading more. I only have a question, real language, because I mean, obviously there's a Croatian investigator and there's an English investigator. What is the how do you plan to divide it? Because it's mainly a Croatian show, right?
Actually, we are shooting mainly in Croatia. The plot is taking place in Dubrovnik for the majority of the series, but the majority of the language is English, actually, because whenever you have an English character, Lucy, for example, in the scene, or the British family, even the Croatian characters are speaking English to them. So
okay.
it's
and the young boy,
English.
And the boy is speaking not at all, or?
That's a twist. I mean, at the beginning, they think that he doesn't speak English because he's 5 years old. Maybe he picked up a word here and there from cartoons or stuff like that. But then he surprises them by saying something in English, which is, contributing to the theory of, can he really be Aisha? So.
Our approach in this was to make it natural as it would be in today's world, So when there is a English speaking person in the room, probably most of the people will speak English. Everyone who knows it, to make the communication more natural and fluid. And when the Croatians are talking among themselves, it's going to be in Croatian. And if there's going to be a need for translation in the scene, then it will be done in terms of like a child. And it is predominantly English speaking series, and if you are asking, this Croatian broadcaster is fine with this, because the whole setting and the characters and cast is Croatian. Yeah.
Super. Thank you.
Thank you. And I think
Thank
we
you.
have also Rosa wanting to ask a question. So, Rosa, the floor is yours.
Thanks so much. And thank you for the pitch. Really fascinating story and so much to explore there, how the human psyche sort of deals with this kind of premise. So really interesting, curious to see how that will be made on the creative side, but was interested to ask a little bit about the production side. I'm curious to know how the UK sort of factors in both your co-production structure and also your financing plans. So if you want to tell something about that, I'd be really interested to know.
Well, we see this as a European co-production, and I believe that we can get more interest from the European broadcasters, including UK, of course, because this is the biggest market and the country that would be naturally interested in. This is from the financing side. So we are counting on to have UK broadcaster and others European broadcasters included also. So far, we have confirmed Croatia, which with the Croatian television investment and the cash rebate, which is automatic for the international part, is giving us some 40% of the budget secured. In terms of characters and in terms of story, I think it is pretty much natural that for the UK broadcasters to be interested, because we have a main character which is UK investigator, and also some part of the other positions. Yeah. I hope I answered this.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Okay. That cleared it up for me.
What I wanted to also highlight that Frank Spotnitz from Big Light Production from the UK was also supposed to be with us. Unfortunately, he couldn't make it, but we have a nice video message from him. So let's see his message.
Good morning, everyone. I'm sorry I can't be there in person to mark the 5th edition of series Rough Pitch, The Balkan Way, but I'm really excited to be participating virtually, so thank you, Martina. I've already heard Daria's pitch, and in my humble opinion, it's terrific. So I think the tutors there are doing a great job. Actually, this project with Daria, Suspicious Circumstances, came together very quickly. I think we were in the hotel in Zagreb having a coffee in December, and here we are in October, and we already have 2 scripts and a green light, which is lightning speed, as you know, for this business. But beyond this project and how proud I am of Daria and all the work she's done, I'm really excited for all the writers and all the talent coming out of the Balkans. I think there's so much that you're going to bring to the world in the months and years ahead, and I'm just really proud to be playing a small part in that. So hope you guys have a great day and hope to see you in person next time. Thank you.
The title of the project is Athena Tsunami, to be presented by a writer and director, Vasiliki Lazaridou. But first, the video.
We are in the heart of Athens during the global pandemic. Right next to the edge of the gentrified city center, there is a park. It is an ordinary park, a small one with the usual green patches of grass, benches all over the place, and dusty pathways. But there is something special in this park. If you walk through it, you can see scattered a bunch of stones. They are more than 2,000 years old. These are the stones where philosophers used to sit down and discuss about life, death, and everything in between. Today, another kind of guys are sitting on the stones. On the right we have Yannis. He is a black man in his 40s, always high on weed, He's an actor and a goddamn good listener. On the other side, we have Sami. They are a decade younger, full of stories and anxiety, also always high. They have no masks on, each taking a puff of a big, fat joint. Hey man, do you think the old ones used to occupy the space, sit down and talk like we do now? Sami asks. And Yanis replies, dude, of course, this is how classic philosophy was born anyways. Now, fast forward a year. Athens is extra noisy. Non-stop construction sites are popping up all over the place, so Sami hasn't slept for weeks, their stories fall apart, while Yanis' acting is reduced to exhausting hours at a coffee shop, smiling to an endless line of tourists. They are broke and start getting angry with the world. Our heroes are in existential panic. No sleep, no writing, no acting, no thinking about life and death, joyless, poor, unknown, yet somehow still alive. They ride the waves of their metropolis and long to go back to their stones and just be. This is a commentary on the absurdity and the resilience we need to find in ourselves in order to live in this ever-evolving, undead city. We become alongside them modern-day philosophers who try to find the formula for living a full and creative life. It is a battle cry to queer what is generally perceived as a failure, socially, economically, and existentially. Sam and Yanis challenge the grind, tell us to take back our time and reflect on our chaotic existence. Being joyfully stoned on an old stone. How can you be sure that this wasn't exactly what everyone did 2,000 years ago, imagining the thoughts that have shaped our civilization since then? And how can you be sure that Yanis and Sami are not the big thinkers we need to draft the new and finally sustainable version of our civilization? Hi, I'm Vasiliki Lazaridou, writer and director of this series. The project is at an early age of development. We have a treatment and episodes outlined for 2 seasons, as well as a first draft for the pilot. Right now, I'm talking to Greek producers and looking for an international partner to work on this project. Thank you very much.
Okay, so it seems that Vasiliki is not with us today, but maybe from the jury members, would you like to share your thoughts about the project and what you wanted to highlight when it comes to Athena Tsunami? Who would like to start first? Can somebody from the jury jump in?
Yeah, okay, then it's me before Wade can start because he doesn't love silence.
We lost Vasiliki, sorry, we lost Vasiliki. They were with us, but then something happened, so we will use the time to speak and share your thoughts. Thank you, Anna.
Okay. Yes, I'm happy to do so. I actually very much like the pitch. I like the idea. I like the setup. I didn't quite get the tonality and the target group, so I would have some question actually regarding to this project. But I very much like the idea and coming back to the philosophers, circling back to our words today.
Yeah, this was really actually unique. And from a different perspective taken. Thank you so much, Anna. And anybody else from the jury that would like to share what was really interesting on striking, or that you found something so valuable to highlight for Vasiliki?
Well, again, I'm coming from a storyline perspective more than the back of the production values that all of you bring to this, which I really appreciate. And one of the things that came out to me was this these are modern day philosophers of sorts, maybe we all are, looking at the issue of failure in a culture, at least that I'm familiar with in Europe and the US, of constantly win, 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 gotta be positive, gotta be on top of things, gotta be a winner. And these two guys aren't. And they're admittedly not. I like the fact that it takes us into a question of what does it mean to succeed. I think, I mean, that's really a question for Vasiliki, but I think it's timely to have this kind of conversation.
Indeed, yes, because sometimes we also can have good and bad days, and we need to also accept everyone as they are. Yes, this is the perspective that we can also question, and that we can also fail, but we can also succeed, and we need to leave room for those who might not manage to get there. Yeah, thank you, Bait. Okay, so let's move on. Hopefully Vasiliki comes back to say hello. The next is the Serbian project. The title is The Second, to be presented by Darko Lungulov, writer and director. Let's have a look at the video.
Balkans 1992. A bloody civil war rages all across Yugoslavia. But in Belgrade, Serbia, everything seems normal because Milosevic's regime projects a picture of fake reality, normalcy, and insists that Serbia has nothing to do with this war. Half of the population believes these lies, the other half doesn't, but they are scared and silent, doesn't want to upset the government. But one brave woman, a journalist, refused to stay silent. That's why she had to escape the country into exile, and she takes her teenage daughter Mila with her. Mila is pissed that she had to leave her friends, Belgrade, and that she cannot play competitive chess, which is very important to her. She learned how to play chess from her late father, who was a grandmaster and was a very close friend of a best chess player that ever lived, legendary Bobby Fischer. Bobby Fischer, for 20 years now, lives in total seclusion, doesn't want to talk to anybody, and refuses all the $1 million offers to play chess again. The only person in the whole world who has a contact with him is Mila. So when Milosevic's government approaches Mila and asks her to bring an offer for a comeback match for Fischer in Yugoslavia now, she jumps on that opportunity to rebel against her mother and to finally meet her childhood chess idol. But in Los Angeles, disappointment awaits for her. Her idol turns out to be broken boy man who is paranoid, living under false name in a nursery home and obsessed with conspiracy theories. But the miracle happens. The two of them somehow form a strange bond, and Fischer agrees to play this comeback match in Yugoslavia, but under one condition, that is, Mila have to be his second during the match. So Mila brings Fischer back to Serbia, where Milosevic praises her for this amazing achievement, and now she is the part of Milosevic's fake reality machinery. The match is called The Return of the King and is to be played on this ridiculous, lavish island, resort island in Montenegro, only kilometers away from the front lines. The world press gathers to witness this charade, and Mila's mother watches it on TV, horrified from her exile. As the war criminals, warlords, shady figures start to gather in this arena, Mila realizes that she is being used, that she's a pawn in somebody else's game, and that she cannot leave this island and this chess match just like that. So, scared for her life, now she has to navigate because war, political intrigues, and her strange relationship, platonic relationship with this broken man, broken genius. So, in order to survive, in order to find the truth, in order to find her own voice, she needs to outplay them all. Why now? This story means to me a lot because I share my life between two countries, Serbia and United States, where the fake reality is winning the war against the truth. And I want to tell this story in order to show what happens when the fake reality wins and that we cannot now afford that. I wrote a pilot episode and I outlined the 4 50-minute episodes. I'm in discussion with my Serbian co-producer, and we're looking for Hungarian, Croatian, US co-producers. My previous work was awarded at Tribeca Festival, picked up by Netflix, HBO, and right now I'm editing my 3rd feature film.
I would like now to invite Darko, who is presenting the 2nd, writer and director from Serbia. Are you, Darko, with us?
Hello, Martina. Hi, everybody. I'm with you.
Yes. So, do we have a question for Darko? Let me see if somebody from the jury wants to start first.
Yes, I'm having a question, if I may. It's okay, Martina, for you?
Yeah, Colleen, hello.
Hello. Hello, Darko. Thank you very much for your story and your pitch. And I did some research about your project, and I wanted to know, how did you develop the fictional aspects of this project around this true story? How do you conduct an extensive research? And how did you first learn about this story? I wanted to know, how are you thinking about this?
Okay, thanks for your question. To answer the first part, the fictional part of the story is the story of Mila, who in reality there was a person, but it was a different story. There was a person that was somewhat involved in this chess comeback, but she was of Hungarian origin, and for my story it was much more relevant that this person, this young woman, would be from actually Yugoslavia, from Serbia, where this kind of distortion of truth, this fake reality was taking place, in order to bring the whole relevance to this story for somebody to be originally from there and to be to kind of live in that part. I don't know if that answers. So I did fictionalize her whole. There is her mother, the journalist, is based actually on a somewhat, not based, but somewhat inspired by the story of a female journalist that was killed in the 90s, investigative journalist she was killed in the 90s, and that murder was still not solved during the Milosevic time, during the civil wars. So I kind of based a little bit mother on that, like inspired. And so it's kind of a mixture of this unfortunate different destinies from the 90s, mixed with the true event of this incredibly surreal but actual event. So yeah, I did a lot of research. I did. I read the books. I read tons of books. I saw the interviews. So it took me quite a while to kind of then weigh what I've learned with my idea why I wanted to tell this story, which is kind of to why this story today, to kind of remind us how, because today is even more so actual this manufacturing of fake realities by authoritarian systems in Europe, in United States. So I think I wanted to kind of tell this story today through the eyes of this young woman. Hopefully I answered the question.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you, Colin. Anybody else from the jury that would like to jump in and ask a question to Darko?
Okay. Hi, Darko. Thank you. I love your pitch, and I love that the chess serves as a metaphor, and we know that it serves as a metaphor and strategy for moral strategy. So my question was, how would you, or how do you integrate the game visually and I can't pronounce it, and the theme of it, so it reflect both the political manipulation and the emotional tension between the mother and daughter. So I was curious about that because the chess have a central role in the series, I'm guessing. That's correct?
Yeah, thanks for the question. The chess has a role in terms of that the whole the chess was basically a language between Mila and her late father, and mother always felt left out of that inner circle, and their relationship between mother and daughter is tense and strained, and daughter actually was too young to understand why they had to leave the country, that her mother was actually in danger, and she always idolized her father more, and the whole chess world and like secret inner language. So it's for that reason chess serves here as a kind of secret language that mother is not allowed or felt left out. And the other is that Mila, as being learning that she's being manipulated in this whole political fake game, but still has this is a little blinded by the occasional flashes of genius, of this damaged genius, Bobby Fischer, who still has something to show occasionally, and then they bond, two of them bond based on chess, on that art of chess strategy. So she's a little bit sidetracked from the problem that this whole manipulation is, and that this idol of hers is this like really damaged boy man. So it's I would say it's more psychological and emotional role that chess plays than like metaphor to the strategies, and there is a kind of a symbolic chess game at the end, which unfolds between Bobby Fischer and Mila, which ends in remis, in like tie, which they both hate. They wanna win. So there is like symbolic of chess, but I hope I answer.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Filson. And I think we have also a question from Anna. So Anna, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Hello, Darko. Thank you very much for the pitch. It's quite a complex story, so I would have some more questions, but I would like to reduce it to one. So it's Mila, the protagonist, I guess. And how old is Mila?
Mila right now is 18. She could be 19, but I wouldn't like her to be 17. I would
Okay,
like
so
her
it's more a coming of age story, also exploring her family background
It is a coming of age story because she kind of learns through this whole process about her mother's plight and sacrifice and situation they had to leave in Milosevic, Serbia, and her she's forced to grow up super fast because of this situation. So it is like express coming of age at the same time as political, as emotional, and in a way family relationship story.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now we are moving to Montenegro. Riders of the Mist is the title of the project and is going to be presented by Ana Vujadinović-Tomić, writer, and Marko Jacimović, producer, from Giggling Goat Production. Let's have a look at the video.
Montenegro. If you ask me, the most beautiful country in the world, you would fall in love with its wild beauty immediately. But to be honest, there is not a lot of wild stuff about living here, especially when you are a teenager. When I was a teenager in Podgorica, I felt kinda trapped. You can't get drunk properly, you can't experiment with boys, God forbid with girls, without everyone finding out. Being free without fear of judgment, mission impossible. That's exactly how our main character, Tara, feels. Tara is 16 years old. She is a tomboy, confident and witty, star athlete person. She is just one of the cool kids. But beneath the humor and sarcasm lies loneliness and anger. Her only anchor, her father. He is the only one who truly gets her, the only one who understands all her jokes, and he is the only one in her primitive surroundings who never judges anyone. And yet, we first meet her in an unusual place with her so usual poker face, at her father's funeral. As the day unfolds, different versions of her father's death surface. He fell asleep at the wheel, swerved to avoid a dog, the brakes failed. Tara knows someone is lying. She knows something big is being kept from her. Driven by rage and suspicion, Tara begins her own investigation. Everyone with a motive begins a suspect. Her father's brother, his best friend, even her own mother. Tara creates a web of clues and evidences, and it feels so real, and it feels like she's on the right path. And at the moment when we believe she's so close to find the killer, the truth turns out to be much more simpler and more painful. Yes, something big was hidden from her, but not about her father's death, about his life. He was with his mistress by his side when he died. He was kissing and hugging her. He was in love in his final moments. In some strange way, that knowledge brings Tara a sense of relief. At least he was happy. She starts to see him as a human being, and she starts to see people around her and to realize that she is not alone in her suffering. Hello everyone, I'm Ana Vujadinović-Tomić and I'm a writer of Riders of the Mist.
I'm Marko Jacimović and I'm a producer of the show. This is our second collaboration after a feature film Planet 7693, which gives us a strong foundation and shared creative language. That was one of 3 feature films that I produced so far, and in 2 more I was a minority co-producer. All of them were international or regional co-productions. Anna is a screenwriter of 4 feature films, 2 of those were Montenegrin submissions for the Academy Awards, and all of them had long festival lives.
The core strength of this story lies in its perspective. It's told through the eyes of a teenage girl, and it reveals the lives of women who are connected by their suffering. At the center is a man, sadly so typical for our world, who is, after he is dead, still somehow managed to bring them together. A daughter, a mother, a wife, a mistress. Each woman's suffering is shaped not only by her role, but also how society perceives it. Can a woman truly understand and support another woman, no matter what? Yes, she can. That's a lesson our protagonist will learn, and that's something that will guide her beyond prejudice and the judgment of others she has long resisted, just like her father.
The loss of a loved one is something we all sadly face at some point. Grief looks different for everyone, but one thing remains universal. We each find our own way to survive, heal, and hopefully to accept a new reality. We explore how grief compels us to twist the truth, create fantasies, and construct elaborate stories just to survive. The series blends mystery, dark comedy, and emotional drama. This is a 6-episode series, each 45 minutes long, already supported by the Film Center of Montenegro for the script development. We are shortlisted by Montenegrin public broadcaster for the possible cooperation in the future. The project is currently in early development. We have a completed synopsis and are seeking finances and potential co-producers. Hope that we managed to catch your attention and that you will be willing to join us on our magical mystery tour.
I would very much so welcome Ana Vujadinović-Tomić, writer, and Marko Jacimović, producer from Giggling Goat Production. Welcome, Montenegro.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone. Glad to be here.
Hello, hello. So, who's gonna start asking the first question from the jury? So just start talking.
Okay, I thank you so much for the pitch. I loved it, and I have one question. I love comedy, and you guys mentioned it's a dark comedy, and also comedy always relies on the tone. So I'm very curious how you're gonna balance the humor with the emotional weight and the grief and the family secret for her.
So it's kind of a character-driven show. So I believe that it will be hard for us to navigate it, but through Tara's character, we will try to make that like a part of the life and to try to present grief like something which is unfortunately part of everyone's life. At some point, all of us will face something like that. And through her school time and through her connections with her friends and relationship with other characters, we will build that comic tone, and also through her investigation, because her ideas will be so crazy, but somehow we will believe that she is on the right path.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Filson. And let me see if we have another question from the jury. So who wants to start? Colleen?
Yes. Hi, hello. Thank you for your pitch. Just wanted to explore some details with you regarding the funds and the more practical question. And you said that you are already supported by the Film Center of Montenegro, shortlisted by Montenegro public broadcaster. So what is your plan? Do you want to have other European partners, or what is your ideal plan?
Sorry, I didn't quite understand. Can you repeat it?
Sorry, I wanted to know more about your financial plan, and to know that you already said that you were supported by the Film Center of Montenegro and shortlisted by Montenegro public broadcaster. So I wanted to know if you are planning to have other European partners, or if you
Yeah.
want to stay in the Montenegro area.
Yeah, as we said in our pitch, we are at the early phase of the development, but we already attended a couple of workshops with this TV series, and also we got supported by Film Center of Montenegro for the script development. The next step is project development. The competition of the Film Center of Montenegro will be next year. Also, we'll try to raise some more funds for the development, and we are in talks with our national public broadcaster, National Television of Montenegro. We are shortlisted, and we are also attended a workshop with this series at the radio television of Montenegro. The thing is that it was quite a lot of time passed since the last TV series was produced in Montenegro. So now there is intention for some TV series to be produced, and we hope and we are pretty much sure that our TV series will be the next. So with the funds from Film Center of Montenegro and Radio Television of Montenegro, we will have budget for the pilot episode, to shoot the pilot. Our plan is to do it next year. And after that, with potential co-producer, but we are already in talks with some co-producers from the regional countries. We are hoping to raise funds and to shoot TV series, also with in the co-production with our public broadcaster.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Colin. And let me see if we have also another question from the jury. If not, let me just see if there is a sign. Okay, no sign, but thank you, Anna and Mark.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Uncarved is the Croatian project and is going to be presented by Mile Božičević, screenwriter. But the video first.
Hi, I'm Mile Božičević, author of The Uncarved. Uncarved is a Nordic Balkan crime thriller in 8 episodes, 52 minutes each. It is a multilingual show in Croatian, Serbian, Icelandic, and English, and it is being developed in partnership with producer Andri Ottarsen from Glass River in Iceland, which is where our story begins. In a quiet western fjords of Iceland, near the small fishing town of Ísafjörður, where nothing ever happens, a frozen corpse of a young man is discovered. A murder committed almost 3 decades ago. The body was mutilated, with a brick shoved into his mouth and a large inverted cross carved into the skin on his back. The case is being handled by the local police officer, Helgi, a big but gentle guy who has a wife and a daughter and is a recovering alcoholic due to a past trauma. The DNA results show that the victim of Helgi's first murder case turns out to be a Croatian. Enter Jelena, a sharp, hard-edged police inspector living with her father in Zagreb. Jelena spent most of her career working war-related cold cases, and she has already seen this type of crime. 30 years ago, during the Balkan Wars, a series of exact same ritualized murders took place across Velebit mountain range in the middle of Croatia. Jelena used to work these cases, but they were never solved. Years spent staring at the dead has scarred Jelena with PTSD. So when Croatian authorities order her to go to Iceland to assist Helgi with investigation, Jelena has to face the insecurity that has plagued and consumed her entire life. And that is a search for her missing brother that disappeared back in the 90s. Jelena and Helgi are like 2 dogs in a dogfight. It's an Icelandic Labrador and a Croatian pit bull, and she is fierce, distrustful, stubborn, while Helgi drinks again to dumb down the old grieving pain. When Helgi was a teenager, he went out to meet with his first love, but instead he found her lifeless body hanging from the swing. She committed suicide, and this case, Jelena, the pressure are triggering Helgi back into that old darkness. As they investigate, they discover that back in 1994, a group of Croatian and Serbian refugee families, all from the area where the ritualistic murders took place, have moved to Iceland to resettle, and the victim, as well as Helgi's young love, were among them. As Jelena and Helgi dig deeper into this refugee community that is now scattered across Iceland, they uncover secrets, rumors of witchcraft, and blood money tied to the rise of far-right political parties in Croatia. They finally connect about their shared pain when they discover that Jelena's missing brother might have been connected with the murders, and Helgi's teenage love turns out was the daughter of the main suspect, a supposed healer from Velebit Mountain. When I was a kid, I once had a dream about attending my father's funeral, and I remember experiencing this deep, embarrassing, sincere relief. During the war years, my father, a soldier, would be gone for months at a time. I never knew when he's coming back or if he's coming back. And this type of insecurity has stayed with me. Even today, when we don't speak for a week, I get intrusive thoughts. It's like your inner universe stops while the rest of the world keeps moving on. I believe that war is like a virus. It infects even people who are thousands of miles away from the conflict, and this is something we are all experiencing today. My desire to tell this story through the lenses of genre is to enable myself, the audience, and the characters to get closer to the emotional truth. And that is that no matter what tomorrow brings, we will push forward. We are in the early stage of development and are now gathering support for writing and on-site research in Iceland and Croatia. We want to strengthen the story before applying to national funds, series markets, and broadcaster support. We are looking for Croatian producer and international partners who are sharing our vision of the project. Thank you.
I would also welcome Mile Božičević, screenwriter from Croatia, but also Andri Otterson, producer from Glass River, Iceland. Hello, hello.
Hello, Martina. Nice to see you. Hi. Hello, everyone.
Hello, hello. I'm very happy to be here.
Hello, Andri. Yeah, nice to meet you. So, from the jury, who wants to start first? Just start talking.
I was looking at this fascinating story and how you bring the present back to the war in Croatia, to the Yugoslav war. How will the war, to what extent will the war itself be betrayed? There are, this mystery arises because it's related to something that happened years before. To what extent is it about that war itself and trying to bring understanding, or to what extent does it just really focus on this group of migrated individuals, refugees really, who ended up in Iceland thanks to the very terrible difficulties of the Yugoslav breakup?
Yeah, thank you for your question. The war will be treated to an extent like a residue from the past that is basically arising right now in the present. So while we're not focusing heavily onto it, the fact is that things that happened in the war, semi-fictional things in our story, are having this trail that traveled far onto the far distant land of Iceland. And this group of Croatians and Serbians that started new lives, which were basically people who never wanted to have anything with the war, are in a way haunted by this same past. So we will not. The idea of the story is not to focus on the war and what happened, but it is something that clearly cannot be ignored. And the mirroring between the past, talking from the human point, is something that we will witness now. So the idea and why this whole story is put through into genre is to talk about some things that happened, but also to see that they are very much alive today on a wider scale, of course. So I hope that answers your question.
We cannot hear you, wait.
I can't wait to see it. Thank you for the answers.
Okay. Thank you, Wade. And we also have
Thank
a question from Anna.
Yes, hello. Thank you very much for the pitch. It's indeed intriguing. It's a huge European journey into our past. I was a little bit overwhelmed, I have to be very honest, with all the traumata you're dealing with. And so I was like wondering, the personal trauma that she is actually looking for her missing brother, and he is looking for long-term love. So it's how do you want to keep the balance between personal trauma and societal trauma because of the war? And is there a little bit hope inside?
Oh, of course. I mean, the whole thing, maybe it's the way I delivered it. It sounded a bit dark, but the whole idea is that all of the characters are pushing forward toward the light, so to speak. The entire idea, because of the having something really hard that happened in your past, shouldn't corrupt your worldview and your true values. That's to put it like in a semi-philosophically way. And the idea to balance this is what I think is the sort of procedural aspect to it. So while our characters we will have plot-based series with disappearances, investigation, and so on. But I think that having them experienced all of that and sort of searching for it will paint it in a more important light. So whenever we have a point in the story where something new is revealed, it will be tied in a way with their personal journey. And when you said it sounds like too much, I sort of wanted to underscore the idea how war can affect even people who had nothing to do with it, who weren't even here. Because in a way, this is something that is, I think, that's resonating today with all of us, even if, no one was near any of the conflict, it's seeping into our lives. And definitely hope should be like a big underscore of the series, because by the end of the season, I want for all the main characters to overcome their inner struggle and go for the better tomorrow. Yeah. Thanks.
And how does it end?
Well, it ends in the crimes from the past are solved, and we realize they were the ritualized crimes. They are solved. We realize they were based in essentially a nationalistic attempt to stop people from leaving Croatia. So in a way, it's what's happening today and what was happening then is that whenever there was a conflict brimming, it wasn't a question of defending the country from, tanks and airplanes that are going to come. It was about dealing with your neighbors, with people whom you went to a party last night or been on a wedding last couple of months. And these type of conflicts are again seeping into whole Balkan area. Some same topics are arising again as before. So in the version of the story that we want to tell is that we shouldn't fall down to these, I wouldn't even call them primal, these primitive urges. And so the story ends in a way that where the murders are solved, although there is a big lingering question about what happened with the main character's brother, because it seems that he is alive, but that he might gone to the dark side, so to speak, where there is this play on how our heroes can turn out to have a complete different side of it. And also as our character from Iceland, the policeman, he will also not solve his trauma like he's in a therapy, but it will be an overcome burden.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. I believe we also have a question for Andrei. Maybe Colleen, would you like to have a floor?
Yes. Hello. Thank you very much for the high quality of your pitch and for this very intriguing story I want to know more about. This is a very short question, and I just wanted to know, does the story take place between the two countries, as we are mixing Croatian and Icelandic story, or is this set in Iceland to follow the investigation?
Ima dosta pucketanja tu. Pucketanja.
You were breaking up a little, so I think I got the question. We envision that we'll be shooting both in Iceland and Croatia because the story jumps between the countries. The majority, because the center of the investigation is in Iceland, so the majority will be shot there. But like Mile was discussing when he was answering the last question, I mean, there is the ending of the series will be fulfilling in the sense that they will solve the crime at hand, but there is this lingering question or a cliffhanger at the end of the series, that because we envision it. We envision this to continue the story for more seasons, and then the second season would probably see a role reversal in a sense, so that the majority would be shot in Croatia, and the rest would be shot in Iceland. So the ratio would reverse. Does that answer the question? Because you broke up. Yeah, thank you.
It's perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Colleen. And I believe Rosa also wants to ask a question to Andrei. So Rosa, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Hi, Andrei. And thanks to both of you for the great pitch, and that starts many images, not all of them pleasant maybe in one's mind. I wanted to ask a little bit about how you're planning financially this. So what is maybe your projected episode budget? And also, I guess it will be mixed language. Maybe will you have 3 languages sort of featured in the series, as well as maybe what or who would be your dream distributor for this series?
I'm going to answer this probably a little bit backwards. I mean, the language will be, of course, there will be Icelandic with the Icelandic characters. There will be Croatian with a Croatian character, and of course the refugees that came to, or the cohort that came to Iceland is both Croatian and Serbian, but the characters, the Croatian character and Icelandic character will speak English between them, which is because, of course, neither of them speak the other language, and when the Icelandic character speaks with the Icelanders, he will speak in Icelandic, and when the Croatian is speaking, well, mostly alone with the Croatian or the Serbian characters, that will be in their language. But since we envision that these two protagonists will be on screen most of the time. So that means that English will be pretty dominant throughout the series. Concerning finance, I mean, of course, we are early in development, but in our experience, we would be looking at 800,000 to 1 million euros per episode. Concerning the financing structure, we are certain. I mean, we believe. I think that the backbone of this, what we would prefer is that the backbone of this project would be two co-producers, us and a Croatian co-producer, and two broadcasters from Iceland and Croatia. If we succeed with that, then we would have the majority of the finance in place. The rest would probably come from creative media, hopefully, and other minor co-productions somewhere around Europe. This is something that we do all the time. All our projects are in a co-production with one or two or even three European countries. But the backbone and what our next step would be is that we're seeking a co-production partner in Croatia, and that our aim is that would be the backbone of the project and the finance. There was one, yeah, about the preferred distributor. I mean, we have been dealing with most of the distributors in Europe, and we are very happy with the collaboration with almost all of them. So I wouldn't say that we prefer one over the other.
Thanks so much, and I applaud you for the resourcefulness that, of course, Iceland being a small population country, as well as maybe also Croatia, so maybe together you have less than 5 million people, so very resourceful to, of course, unite in a dominantly English concept, so you actually can use also some of the more global funding there. And of course, also, I think I remember that you used to be a police officer, so that's probably a good start to do these crime shows. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. We found something new about Andri. Yeah. Okay. So thank you all. Thank you, Andri and Mile. We are moving to Hungary. Fruzsina Fekete, screenwriter, is going to present her project, Forsaken. But let's have a look at the video.
It's 1980, a small sleepy town on the Hungarian Great Plain. Your name is Tünde. You are 16. You're alive, smart. You want to be a doctor. You fall in love with a married tourist. You're naive. You get pregnant. You're happy, the fruit of your love. You give birth, but you don't get to hold your child. They tell you he died. Your father says you will move on. The town says it's better this way. Life goes on. Except it doesn't. Not inside you. Now you are 62. You're not a doctor. You're just an aging background in other people's lives. Your father is dying, and with his last breath he tells you the truth. Your son was never stillborn. He was sold. Sold. Something breaks within you, not your heart that's long gone, your obedience. You don't cry. You don't beg. You begin to kill. But Tünde is not a monster. She has been a caregiver to the community for 40 years. She's the woman everybody thanks, but nobody truly sees. And when this quiet lady learns the truth, she turns into somebody terrifying, a woman with nothing to lose. She sets out to punish everyone who profited from her loss. Bodies, however, are heavy, knees hurt, and gravity is a bitch. But when Tunda kills, it's not messy, it's not chaos, it's order. She's not the criminal, she's the verdict. She believes she's the hunter, but in fact, she's already the prey. Because there is the police, Nana, the detective sent to stop her. Nana grew up in the same small town. She knows its silence. When she was bullied at school, she went to her father for help, who just said, "That's life, toughen up." That day, Nana learned the rule. No one is coming. Don't trust, endure. So Nana has been swallowing her traumas ever since. She's always 20 kilos away from her ideal self. She's competent, but very tired of always stepping in her own way and being one novelty protein shake powder away from her true potential. While she's chasing Tunda, she stops seeing her as a killer. She sees a mirror, because it's Tunda what happens when pain turns outwards, and Nana what happens when pain turns inwards. This is not a whodunit. We know from the very beginning that Tunda is the killer. The tension is in the collision, not in the reveal. Two women bound by the same wound they never chose, pulled towards each other until there is no way back. In another life, these two women could have saved each other, but in this one, they test one another to the core. Eventually, Tunda is consumed by vengeance, but Nana, she learns to forgive. Forsaken is a 6-time, 50-minute-long, character-driven crime thriller set in a small Hungarian town that never changes. On postcards, it's pretty little streets and healing thermal bath, but underneath there are crimes buried. We pretend time will fix them, but it never does. And this delayed responsibility always falls on the next generation. I didn't choose this story. It found me. It was born out of pain when a part of my life was taken away from me. The real crimes lie underneath the pain. Healing doesn't start with forgiveness. It starts with the question, who is willing to take responsibility? My name is Fruzsina Fekete. I'm the writer of the Hungarian romantic dramedy Cream, streaming on Netflix and HBO Max. And I'm also the head writer of Forsaken, together with the co-writer Áron Horváth. We are in an early development. We have a treatment and a pitch deck and planning to apply to the Hungarian Film Fund. And right now we're looking for co-producers and partners to join us in making this story. Thank you.
Now I would like to invite Fruzsina Fekete to say
hello. Hello, everyone.
Hello, Fruzsina, and welcome. Let me see if we have a question for you from the jury. So who wants to start first? Just start talking.
Sure, I can go. Hi, Fruzsina, thanks so much for your pitch. Clearly there's a strong vision where the story is going. I found it very unusual, very interesting. My question would be, how do you see, or what do you see in the near future for your project? So in the next 6 to 12 months, what do you wish that will have happened?
Thank you. So first of all, I must mention that although I'm the creator and the head writer, but I'm working closely with Áron Horváth. And also we have a little group of writers who would contribute to this process. most probably the first few next steps would be creating the Bible and the outline for the episodes, and then the pilot episode itself. If that answers the question.
Thank you. Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Dina. I believe we also have a question from Wade. So, Wade, the floor is yours.
Yeah, Frusina, I really like your story. This is very compelling. I am looking at it from an angle of some of the things learning here. The idea, you said she's not the accusation, she's the verdict. That's a very quotable line there. I'm sure Schwarzenegger wish he came up with that. But I would like to ask, tell me more about Nana's road to redemption and forgiveness. How does she come to forgive? What does she learn along the way?
Well, first of all, what is important to mention is that Nana was going to this small town to investigate. She has to work with a former classmate, a male police officer who used to bully her. So that is instantly puts Nana into a very uncomfortable situation. Not to mention that she's now on a higher she has a higher title than this new colleague of hers. So obviously throughout their investigation together, things get more complex, and she also learns why this colleague acted that way when they were both teenagers. And of course, I believe that this pair of Tunde and Nana totally sees and sort of can empathize with Tunde's pain and can totally see the wrong way, the way Tunde tries to overcome her traumas. So I think that Nana sort of gains some kind of wisdom in this throughout the story, and she manages to see things in a more complex way. She manages to forgive her own father, who couldn't stand up for her when she asked for help, and that totally enriches her character as well. So that's how I think she ends up being able to forgive and most importantly to move on, because I believe this whole story is about how terrible and hard it is to move on when there are so many unsolved background noises and stories, and I always consider this story as an allegory in a way, or to what is happening right now in my country, for example, the burden we have been carrying, and there is only one way, which is forgiveness. But first, we really need to face ourselves as well. And as I've said in the pitch, we have to take responsibility and see why we couldn't move on in the first place, and what we did to stop ourselves from healing. Because sometimes, it feels good to be the victim. Unfortunately, it's a terrible thing to say, but I myself experienced this, and then you really have to wake up and see that, okay, things are not as black and white as you might have seen before.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Frusina, for a very emotional answer and for sharing this with us. Let me just double check if we have a question from the jury, or shall we move on? I will just give a second. If nobody starts. Okay.
Sorry.
If you want to go first, Hannah.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So my question will be very short. Thank you very much for the very entertaining and intriguing pitch. I was, it's quite disturbing to see so many dark stories, but I was wondering if the tonality might be a little bit more light. What kind of tonality do you have in mind for your story?
Yes, thank you. That's a really important point, that obviously the atmosphere and the environment of the story kind of destines it to be very dark. But I totally see the humor in it. I know it sounds bizarre, but I really do, especially when I imagine Tunde, this woman in her early 60s, a fragile, not really charismatic person trying to do these shenanigans, so to say, and you know, dealing with dead bodies, and it is just so unusual, to say the least, that it can totally create an atmosphere where you don't know whether to be completely shocked or whether you are allowed to laugh. And what really inspired me in the last couple of years was, though it's not a series, but Promising Young Woman, which I found absolutely amazing, as the story itself was so painful and so dark, but this very, very smart choice of the actors. Those actors, most of them came from sitcoms. The person watching it, a lot of times I just couldn't, I didn't know what I feel like. Am I allowed to smile a little bit, or shall I scream? And I also love the colors. So regarding visuality, yes, we are on this Hungarian Great Plain, which is kind of Western-like, but there are so many colors that that can be used, and that can totally balance out this atmosphere and make it, in a sense, lighthearted, though the message is not lighthearted at all.
Thank you very much.
Anna. Thank you, Anna. And I believe we also have a question from Colleen. So, Colleen,
Yes.
the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Virginia, for your pitch, and I love this concept of your project. Maybe it's almost the same question as Anna, but in a different way. How would you define the genre of this project? You said thriller, but would this also turn into a genre or not at all?
So the genre, I'm sorry, there was a glitch. Yeah, in the pitch I mentioned that it's definitely a character-driven story. It's a crime and it's a thriller, but because of the comedy part, it is certainly a mixture of dark comedy as well. I think that humor is important because it can pull the story closer to the public, to the people. And since we often heal by stories, I really hope that people who will hopefully manage to see this story will get the message without feeling totally guilty, if you know what I mean. Like, of course, we all have our guilt and responsibilities, but I really hope that this kind of dark humor will, as I've said earlier, will lighten up the mood and make it push or pull the people closer to the story, so they can, besides being entertained, hopefully they can also feel some kind of moral and some kind of value that they can identify themselves with.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Colleen, and thank you, Frugina. Killing Isle is our next project. It is a Cypriotic project to be presented by Heri Aiotis, creator, writer, and director. Let's have a look at the video.
Welcome to Cyprus, the island of love. We got sunshine, we got palm trees, we got sandy beaches, very romantic. But behind this sunny facade, there's a shadow built on systemic racism, corruption, and ignorance. Welcome to my paradise. Detective Inspector John Matisse here has been living in the system for years. His life, very comfortable and predictable. It's a country with very low homicide rates, and common crimes include speeding and embezzling. I agree, John. It's very boring to be a cop here. Nothing ever happens. Ignorance is bliss until the day where the shadow engulfs the sunshine and there's only darkness. And then she comes into his life. Detective Chief Inspector Lucy Birch, Scotland Yard's finest. And she's nothing like our John here. She's a professional, proper workaholic, and she's not bored. Lucy is an expert in profiling serial killers. So she comes to Cyprus to share that expertise with John, so he can catch the country's first official serial killer. Killing Isle is a 6-part, 1-hour true crime drama told through multiple perspectives, through the eyes of the victims, their loved ones, and the investigators. It's based on real events that happened in 2019 when 7 bodies were discovered, all immigrant women. They were killed by one guy, and his selection of victims was not random. The police enabled his behavior because the police throughout the years received multiple reports of missing people. They ignored them because the people that were missing were immigrants. The scandal was huge. Minister of Justice resigns. Police chief fired. 20 cops fired. Now, this investigation and Lucy will turn John's life upside down. His whole belief system shatters. His bubble bursts. John now is forced to confront reality, and reality ain't pretty. Reality is grisly, it's violent, it's overwhelming. But Lucy here has seen this darkness before. Their egos collide. She will insist, he will resist. She's not from here. What does she know about us? He says. Eventually, Lucy breaks through John's defenses, and she becomes his mentor and his mirror. Lucy knows to capture this guy, she has to teach John how to think like a killer. But for John to think like that, firstly, he has to face his own darkness within, his own apathy, silence, and biases. Lucy grabs a flashlight and shoves it in John's face. For the first time, John sees the light in the shadows. This light fills him with empathy and living, breathing awareness. John now is a changed man. He sees and feels for the first time the indifference of that shadow. And now he has a lifelong friend in Lucy. Killing Isle is about the collective trauma of the country and the subsequent bonding of the ones left behind. It's a portrait of a society that allowed this to happen. It will expose the subtle racism that enabled a whole nation to turn a blind eye to the disappearance of its most vulnerable. I am the only Cypriot screenwriter trained in serial storytelling. I am a serialized alumnus in Torino Series Lab. I also won an HBO Europe Award years back for Best Series Concept. I've been working across Europe, mainly in Germany, creating shows, but this project is personal. This project is at home. My country has a chronic habit of ignoring its troubled past. I want Killing Out to be a reminder of that past. Because behind headlines and statistics, there are human beings, and we should always remember that. I have a 1-page synopsis. I am looking for a co-producer, and that's it. Thank you.
I would like to express my warm welcome to Harry. Harry, are you there?
Hello, guys. I'm here. How are you?
Nice to see you again. So let me see who wants to start the first question. The jury. It takes some time to do this transition in terms of this live stream. So who wants to start first, please?
Okay, I start. Hi. I also love this story, but I am also very curious the relationship between Lucy and John's relationship and the involvement, and also the like how central is their relationship and the dynamic to the story, revealing the Iceland's moral, of decade of systematic and corruption, if that makes sense. Or maybe should I make it easier?
I think it does. I think at the core, yeah, I mean, they are relationship would be very central to the story. I mean, it's like a push and pull dynamic between two characters. You have the ignoramus detective living in a very lazy, sunny island. Then you have the experienced, hardened veteran that comes to kind of like show him how to catch this guy. And that's a device that I want to use. I want to use Lucy as a device to kind of like showcase the ignorance and the, the corruption that exists currently in my country as well when it comes to policing. Yeah, if that answers your question.
But will they the character? Will they understand each other?
Yeah, in the beginning,
Go ahead.
Right, in the beginning, it will be very turbulent, of course, because you have a 50-something, a middle-aged guy who, in my country anyway, there's no woman in police senior positions, only men, obviously. And so for him to, this woman will come and she is his senior in a way, even though she's there as a consultant. And at first there will be turbulence in the air, but then eventually she will break through his kind of like bullshit shield, I call it, and he will try to see things from her point of view. And the biggest thing he will gain is empathy through her eyes, pretty much, which I think is the biggest gift you can give to somebody. You can make them empathize with something. So, and that's the message I want to kind of like make as a whole for the country, to kind of to become more empathetic when it comes to the plight of these people. And yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Let me see if we have a second question for Harry. Who wants to be next?
Well, my microphone's already on, so I better use it.
Thank you.
Likewise, I found this to be a very compelling story, very interesting story. Been to Cyprus, I can picture this. I'm looking at the storyline as well, and I'm just, you have, how is it that the story exposes this small-mindedness and racism that you mentioned, that holds a mirror up so that we can see ourselves?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's based on real events, and it was like 2019, so not too long ago. And I think through John's character, I'm going to try to make him as a universal Cypriot archetype with all his flaws, and not only flaws, but of course, we have also some good stuff here, not just bad. So through his kind of like reaction to Lucy's educational kind of like journey to this like mind of a killer kind of thing, because we've never experienced this before anyway. And it's true, by the way, that in the real story, they did call people from Scotland Yard to come to Cyprus because we had no idea how to get this guy. Apparently, in the real life story, it was a very harmonious kind of like collaboration between the two forces, and they caught the guy, obviously. So yeah, I think through the friction of between them, it's going to showcase kind of like the small-mindedness of a nation that allow that to happen. Yeah. Did that answer your question? I'm not sure. Did that answer your question?
No, that's helpful. As I've said to some others, I really look forward to watching this, not just hearing about it.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Harry. I was also not aware of the serial killer existing in Cyprus, so this is quite some novelty for me, as I always thought Cyprus, as you said, a paradise and a beautiful country, but I guess each country has the other dark sides as well, which we are trying to really heal. But thank you, Harry.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. The last, but not the least, You Can Always Come Back is the Croatian project, to be presented by Tena Gojic, creator, and Miljenka Čogolja, producer from Pipser production company. Let's have a look at the video.
It's a quiet and calm summer morning above mirror-like surface of the sea. It's a kind of perfection that you would expect on a postcard. A perfect day in a Norwegian fjord. Mountains crashing into the sea and tiny wooden houses facing the calm horizon. a huge white cruiser is cutting the sea surface, and holidaymakers, small as black dots, are taking their place on the deck to enjoy their perfect breakfast. We are with Nada. Her breakfast is not so perfect at all. In fact, she just finished her night shift and she is just grabbing a bite in the crew mess while watching the news covering the war in the Balkans. The place she have left behind, along with her 3 daughters and the father who is now taking care of them. For the first time in her life, she is alone, separated from her family, and far away from the war. Standing there on the deck, breathing in the crisp breeze from the mountains, she lets the calm and quiet wash over her. She allows herself to listen to her inner voice. What if I never go back? What if I live a life totally free and in peace? A feeling of ease fills her, and she decides to surrender to it.
You Can Always Come Back follows a woman who made the difficult choice to leave her family behind in a war-torn Yugoslavia to protect her own well-being and to find a better future. I'm also a mother. I run a company. I'm juggling many projects. I work in an industry that is barely surviving, and the world feels on the brink of the global war. I also sometimes think, what would happen if I would just disappear? And I think I'm not the only one.
I'm sure you're not the only one.
And that is why it's very important to us to invite everyone in this feeling, because the impulse to leave is a natural, it's a surviving instinct, and it's not any gender privilege, even though men are in our society less judged if they do so. And that is why it's very important to us to tell the story of Nada. Nada's character is carrying both social controversy and a taboo. She did what mothers are never forgiven for. And her wrongdoing is even greater because she left her family in a war-torn country, went away never to return back. Over the course of 20 years, we follow the consequences of Nada's acts on her 3 daughters that are marked by trauma, but also with an enduring need for love and understanding.
We are also exploring loyalty between 3 sisters, Bojana, Tara, and Zora, who needed to cope with their mother's decision for the whole life. When Tara herself becomes a mother, she opens within herself a space to fully understand her mother's action. We start from a profound need to explore a full complexity of making difficult decisions painful for other people, while at the same time posing the question, what would happen to the world if we would choose not to judge, but to understand?
The story you heard about is a story inspired by Athena's personal experience, and is the one that is written over the lifetime while being lived at the same time. Our project is 4x52 drama series that is in the early stage of development. As we speak now, our scriptwriter, acclaimed Croatian writer and director Hana Jušić is writing a pilot. And it's planned to be a co-production between Croatia, Norway, and Sweden. Thank you for listening to us.
Thank you.
And I kindly invite Athena, creator, and Miljenka, producer from Pipser, to join us on behalf of You Can Always Come Back. Welcome.
Thank you. Good morning or good day. Hello.
It doesn't matter as long as it's they. So who wants to start first with the question? The jury. The floor is yours. Just start speaking.
Yes, I'll start. Thank you very much for the pitch. It was very personal, and I think it's a really interesting story, very clear sort of vision, very story for me. I think you mentioned that it's supposed to be a co-production, so I'd be curious in terms of partners, who's already attached, and what are your plans or next steps in that sense?
So, hello, question for me. As we said in the pitching, we are in very early development. There's no financing yet for the project, but we were thinking of it, and we believe that emotional architecture of the story mirrors the values that Scandinavian audiences like, or that values. So, and because the Nada second life takes place in Scandinavia, and also because the story is bilingual between Croatia and Scandinavian or Norwegian territory. So our main structure was between Croatia, Norway, and Sweden. We wanted to develop it between Croatia and Norway, and then to co-finance it as a European co-production between those three countries, with possibility, of course, to explore depending on the shooting location, also with Belgium or Lithuania. And the next steps, we are at the moment, we have a pitching deck ready. Our scriptwriter Hana Jusic started writing pilot. So we are in the development of the story. We applied for script development at the Croatian Film Fund. And we wanted to develop it between Norway and Croatia, and also we would like to include media co-development funding. So one extensive development is ahead of us.
Thank you, and good luck.
Thank you, Dina. Let me see if we have also some questions for Tena, as it's her personal story as well. So who would like to ask a question from the jury?
Well, I can take one. Well, since you mentioned it's a personal story too, so I'm very curious. I'm very curious about the premise, and also I'm very curious about, it explores the female freedom and the guilt. So then it's going to be two questions, I guess. Now, I'm curious about the premise, and also I'm curious, do you want the audience to feel? Like, perceive her as a selfish or brave or simple human? And if so, like, how would I see her journey? I'm very curious about that, because it's another thing to have a thought, but the complicity of the premise, I'm curious. I want to see it, so therefore I'm curious. So that's why I'm asking these questions.
Thank you for your question. Yes, the main character of the mother who is leaving her family is we thought about her as a very ambivalent and multi-layered character, and this big question that she carries with her from the minute that she left her family and trying to establish a new life in Norway is something that is the core of the dramatic tensions of the series. So we want to see her as a character with whom we can emphasize and feel the empathy. But sometimes she is also a character that you want to judge. But throughout that ambivalence, we want the audience to question their own values, because we want to reframe motherhood. So we want to open the space for the radical empathy, because the mother who leaves is not an archetype in our culture, and that is our big goal, to try to put this kind of character in the world, to be able to see if we can empathize with this kind of women.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Filson. Let me check if we have somebody else from the jury that would like to have disclosure.
I would have another question that might add up on the other questions that were just asked before. So Hannah, because I think it's a very intriguing, it's a very brave topic, and I would like to know if you're planning structure-wise to see this judgment from the daughters as a kind of kaleidoscope, or if you are planning to integrate their perspectives on their mother and the judgment, like in a kind of structural format for the episodes?
Yes, we are going to follow also the storylines of daughters, and each of them copes on another way with this trauma. So we are going to follow their path throughout this ambivalence of their mother, and not each one of them is dealing the same way at the same way. So basically, there is going to be judgment, but also there is going to be a search for the answers, for healing, for connection, for having a mother in some way, which this is a story really about keeping the relationship alive. So it's not about abandoning, but it's more of how to keep us together.
And I would like, if possible, to add, as they are becoming mothers, the emotional logic of the past becoming more clear to them, because it's the span of 20 years. So it's completely different. Their perspective is completely different in relation to their age and their experience also.
And please allow me one more question. Is this only then the personal attitude of the characters, or are you planning to go for a more moral arc for society?
We would for sure go for the moral arc of the society. We want to analyze basically how the European society also evolved in the span of 25 years. We really want to explore how the Norwegian society, Scandinavian societies treating foreigners, in this case white foreigners, but still the foreigner. And also how the war in the Yugoslavia was affecting families. But also like the whole, we want to touch upon political and social context. Let's say maybe like the series My Brilliant Friend, where they are exploring the inner worlds of the characters, also the family, and also like giving the comment of Italian society in the span of more than 40 years.
Thank you.
But even though this is in a way, even though Tena mentioned My Brilliant Friend, we don't want to take this linear storytelling as the series she was telling about. And what I wanted to add, that I think that the main things are, the main motives and the main themes are gray zones within the human behavior. But as the story starts within the war circumstances, which is, I think, is also globally resonant at the moment. Of course, it's social and political context that is very, very much involved.
Thank you, Anna, and thank you, Tena and Miljenka. And I got a message that Vas could join us in the end, so I kindly ask Vas to say hello. Are you there, Vas?
Hi, sorry for the disturbance, I'm here.
Okay, good to hear that. Because I remember who already commented your project. Let me first invite Wade, since Wade wanted to know more. So Wade, the floor is yours.
Thank you. And thank you, Vaso, for a fascinating idea of a couple of, these are not exactly Wall Street type A winners. These guys sit and token up. They deal with the question of failure a lot. Where are we, as we watch these two explore their failed lives, what's the message for us?
I think that the message is that failure is embedded in our lives, like in mine a few moments ago. I think it's a totally normal thing to face, and thus has to be part of the conversation. Not in a shameful manner, but in a completely normal and trial and error receiving data manner.
It seems to me this is quite humorous and you're asking us to laugh at ourselves. Is that fair?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Because I think, as it said before, healing comes from the ability to make fun of ourselves, not taking things too serious, or at least trying to lighten up if something is very, very serious.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I believe Anna also wants to ask you something, Vas. Anna, the floor is yours.
Sorry, I would like to say thank you for this idea because I very much love it. And it looks like it will be a very talky program. But as we know, the action lies into the dialogue. So congrats for this nice idea. I was wondering if you're planning to do a format out of it, because you didn't say something about structurally wise. Is it a half-an-hour format or is it a long-running format? Is it supposed to be like? Could you please elaborate on this? Thank you.
I think that the form is going to be like 20-25 minutes each episode. It is outlined for two seasons. Let's say six episodes per season, something like that. In the form of comedy.
Okay, and just one more question. And is this weed smoking supposed to be a mind opener, or is it just a prop thing?
I mean, I think for different people it is a different thing, but in our case here, I think it's a vehicle to make an example. Like for some reasons, this is a controversial debate. There is ethical and legal weed, and there is the underground culture of weed. So by comparing these two, I'm making a point right now. I'm starting the situation from this controversiality.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anna, and thank you, Vas, for joining us in the end. So, thank you. So, dear audience, we saw all projects, and I'm sure, as I mentioned it earlier, it's not going to be an easy decision as regards to the awards. The jury members need to decide. So, once again, I repeat, they are going now to discuss about the main jury prize of 5,000 euros, 50 piece prize of 3,000 euros, a Beta Film Co-Development Award, special mention by mentors, EPI or Eric Palmer Institute Scholarship, including 2 accreditations for TV Bits Forum and Series Mania Forum. So thank you for being with us so far, but just grab a coffee or tea because we will be right back. More or less 15 minutes. So see you in a bit. And the audience, we are back. So the moment has come. The awards. As I already mentioned, it took some time and to really reflect. And I would like just to get on with the awards. So first, we're going to announce Serious Mania Forum Award. So I kindly ask Colleen to join us.
Yes. So, on behalf of Serious Mania, we are pleased to offer an accreditation to Forsaken, and we were truly captivated by the story. It's compelling and full of potential, and we are eager to see how the next steps of this project unfold. We also noticed that you haven't attended Serious Mania before, Frugina, so this will be a great opportunity for you to meet industry professionals and discover the event in Lille next March. Congratulations once again, and we look forward to welcoming you to the Serious Mania Forum 2026.
Yeah, and maybe we also see attached the visual to accompany us with the award announcement. So
fantastic. Thank you so much. I'm really, really thrilled. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. With pleasure.
Yes. And Frugina, would you like to also mention something? As a small comment?
Well, sure. It's this whole competition, or I wouldn't say competition, this opportunity and workshop has been fantastic. And I'm really, really excited about Serious Mania. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you. So we are going to move on. Frugina, congratulations. So the next one is TV Beats Forum. And I kindly ask Rosa to join us and present the award.
Hi. So TV Beats Award for accreditation 2026 goes to the project Riders of the Mist. Here is what we thought of it. So we think that the dark humor and the intriguing premise is sort of rooted in the really globally relevant coming-of-age genre, and the theme of a teenager dealing with coming to terms with death, loss, and grief can, of course, resonate far beyond the Balkan and Adriatic market. And for Tallinn's TV Beat, the series matters also for the kind of territory it represents, as Montenegro, with a small population, rarely sort of appears in the international television landscape. And the same is also true for the Baltics, Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania. So we champion the small population countries.
Thank you. And now I would like to invite Anna and Marco to join us and share.
Here we are. Hello.
Here we are. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. It really means a lot to us. First of all, we want to say that we are honored that we were part of this beautiful workshop and this beautiful pitching session. And thanks to jury for recognizing that our project has some potential, and we can't wait to be part of that event in Estonia.
Thank you. But I will still keep Rosa with me for a couple of moments, because, as it always happens, we like this rock and roll jump. So, Rosa, can you come back?
Yes, here
Yes,
I am.
because we have some extra awards that came up during your jury session, and for which we didn't, of course, create a visual, because it was just a moment of all of a sudden, right? But the floor is yours.
Thank you. So we talking about these low population countries and the challenges that face the creators with limited domestic markets and maybe fewer opportunities, institutional barriers, etc. We wanted to sort of also give a little a consultation session from Good Hand Film and TV, which is a company in Finland. Petri Kempinen and myself, as well as dramaturge and 2 other producers, are consulting projects. And we wanted to give consulting awards for 2 of the projects that pitched today. And those projects are Uncarved and Killing Isle, that are both also coming from low population countries, and definitely caught our eye that there is a lot, I think, that you can do to bring them towards the sort of global prominence.
Yes, and let me then invite Mile and Andri on behalf of the project Uncarved to join us.
Sure. Hi, Martina. Unfortunately, Andri had to leave, so he's not with us now, but I will gladly send him this message. Thank you for the award. It's really nice. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm glad that you recognized our efforts, that, you know, small population countries can join together and do something great. So thank you once again.
And we also have Harry from Cyprus.
Yes, thank you so much for the award. It's true that smaller countries are harder to, you know, kind of have a footing in the TV industry because we lack resources. So I really appreciate this effort to kind of like, thanks so much.
Thank you, Harry, and thank you, Rosa, for jumping in with an extra award. Thank you. Now we move according to our schedule. It's Dina's time, so we're going to hear whom she gave Erich Pommer Institute Training Scholarship. So, Dina, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Martina. Yes, so the Erich Pommer Institute, or EPI, offers comprehensive training on the business and legal aspects of the European audiovisual industry and supports gender parity through its female leadership programs. And this award specifically will entail free participation in one of our international training programs in 2026 or one of our on-demand e-trainings. We're delighted to award the EPI Training Scholarship to You Can Always Come Back, a project about women and driven by women that impressed us with its emotional depth and clear creative vision. Exploring the deeply human theme of motherhood, it tells a story that will resonate with audiences everywhere. Having a mother is something that connects every single person in the world. With its strong international ambition, You Can Always Come Back is a perfect fit for EPI's training. This opportunity will give the makers the chance to connect with the European audiovisual industry, discover co-production partners, and gain new skills and inspiration for the next stage of the project. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dina. So I kindly invite Miljenka and Tena to join me.
Thank you so much for these very kind words about the project and the way you see it. It will be, we know about Erich Pommer Institute and the programs there, so we are very grateful, and thank you for the overall experience of the workshop, and of course thank you very much for the award. Tena?
Yes, Tena?
Yes, thank you for really nice words that you shared. It really means a lot, and yeah, I'm glad that we will advance with this workshop and the program. It really means a lot. We are honored. Thank you.
Thank you, Tena and Miljenka, and thank you, Dina. So we move on. Now it's time for special mention on behalf of dear Helen and Valeria. So who wants to start?
I start. Thank you so much, Martina. The Pitch Coaches special mention for acknowledging the participants' journeys during our week together goes to 2 projects this year. The first special mention goes to Vasiliki Lazaridou with Athena Tsunami.
Yeah. We gave you the special mention because you truly embraced their pitch persona and voice for this project, for exploring ways to
connect the story and characters' vibe to bring it out into the room so that we can get why sitting on a stone in Athens, taking time to think, might just be the change the world needs now. So we wish you the very best of wins for taking the project further.
So a quick word from Vas. We already revealed the second project as well, but maybe Vas, you can jump in.
Yes, hi, thank you very much. It was an experience, and it surely will help for me to go things with this project forward. Thank you very much.
But now you saw also the second project is the second.
Yes, and the second special mention goes to Darko Lungulov with the second.
For going deep and clarifying the main character's journey and finding ways to bring out the deeper aspects of the story's themes and how they resonate with today's reality of truth and facts, which is threatened by fake news and realities.
So congratulations to the both of you for embracing the big difference between crafting an excellent written text and crafting a spoken presentation. Thank you for your generosity in our collaboration.
And let me hear Darko as well.
Thank you very much, Valeria and Helena. Your help was really tremendous and really helped me kind of to think about also my project in a little bit different light in a way. So I really appreciate it. Thanks.
Thank you, Darko, and thank you, Helen and Valeria. The next one is Vifty Peace Prize to be presented by Wade. Wade, are you there?
I am, and I am honored to present the Wifty Peace Prize. Women in Film and Television International was born in 1973, supporting women in the male-dominant film industry through connection, visibility, and knowledge. The Wifty Peace Prize was initiated in 2023 to recognize the work of remarkable women building a better world through the stories they tell. In his magisterial book, Exclusion and Embrace, Croatian theologian Miroslav Volf examines the nature of conflict and reconciliation. He notes that one common factor defines all parties to a conflict. Each one thinks they are right and the other is wrong. Breaking through this impasse of exclusion, excluding the other's opinion, the other's experience, this is a fundamental challenge to achieving peace in a fractured world. But how do we reach through that impasse? Well, without understanding, it's impossible. Storytellers take us into the hearts and lives of others, helping us to understand not only them, but also our own selves. And from that understanding, we can move beyond our own pains to build something better. So, I am pleased to say that the Wifty Peace Prize of 3,000 euros for 2023 goes to You Can Always Come Back by Tena Gojic and Miljenka Chogelja. Their story of hard choices forced by hard circumstances ask us to find our way to understanding, at a minimum, if not forgiveness for what society finds unforgivable. In our pain-encrusted world, this call to radical empathy is ultimately not only to come back, but to move forward toward peace. So thank you, ladies. I can't wait to sit back, open a bottle of rakia, and binge this series. Let me know when it's out.
So again, I invite Ten and Miljenka to join me.
We sure will.
A lot of a lot of tears and a lot of rakia, while watching this one. Thank you. It really means a world to us. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It will help us to push things forward. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Miljenka, Antenna, and Wade for the Wifty Prize. Now we move to Beta Film. And I kindly ask and invite Anna to join me. Anna?
Yes, hello, I'm back. I would first like to thank you, Martina, for having me to having Beta Film on board on this 5th edition of Pitching. As you know, we are a company, we are not only doing co-production, but we are based in distribution. So our projects all have an international potential impact, and that's actually our mission, to really elaborate on the European side, which projects have a lot of, could have a big impact on the European series side. So the Beta Film Development Award goes to the project with a clear creative vision, with a high international potential, with a promising setup, of course, most of all, a fascinating story. And we are looking forward to exploring the storytelling approach, which combines classical crime investigation elements with a mystery of universal karma, and to support the development process of non-verbal communication and reception. And I'm very happy to announce that the Beta Film First Development Award goes to Suspicious Circumstances. And I'm very much looking forward to working with Daria and Danijel on this one again.
Thank you, Anna. And now I invite Daria and Danijel. Who wants to start
Danijel
first?
also unfortunately had to leave, but you have me here. Thank you, Anna. Thank you, the jury. Thank you for your kind words. Thank you, Martina, for organizing this workshop. Thank you to the mentors for helping with the pitch. I don't know. I'm just so very grateful and honored. So thank you.
Thank you, Daria. Thank you. And I need to do this probably for the final jury award. Whom I'm going to invite? I'm going to invite Filson to announce the project which won the jury award in the amount of 5,000 euros. So Filson, the floor is yours.
Thank you. So the main pitch award of the series Rough Pitch, the Balkan Way 2025, goes to a project that present the best pitch and took us into the story in a clear and captive way. The project dives into consequence of trauma at the young age. It's about taking back agency from trauma, which so far has defined these women's whole life. It's raw, it's emotionally complex story, where the two main characters stand on each side of the law, but on the same side of trauma, each needing to heal, to take responsibility in the only way they can. So the winner is Forsaken. Congratulations, Virginia Paquette. The jury want to add its brave topic, and we look very much forward to meeting these two women. So congratulations.
So, Frugina.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm a little bit speechless. Okay, so first of all, thank you so much really for this whole last week. It's been a game changer, and I know this is big words, but I did manage to share some of my personal stories with Valeria, for example. So now it gives me hope, to be honest, hope in this project, and I really hope that it will bring some sort of peace within ourselves mostly, and also within our communities. And I'm truly grateful for this this whole setup with our two lovely, fantastic mentors. Thank you, Helen and Valeria. Really, I know I mentioned this, but the space, the safe space that you held, that was amazing. And throughout, we were waiting for the results. We actually had a chat with each other, and Daria mentioned that we should all keep in touch for sure. So I really hope that this will happen with all of you. And one more time, I'm really, really grateful. Thank you so much for this opportunity and for this award as well.
Yeah, and hopefully we also organize physical
Yes,
setup so that
please,
we
that would be
all
fun.
see each other in person, not only online. So, but thank you, Fruzina, for your wonderful words.
Thank you so much.
For being part of this journey, like also other participants. Indeed. So we've come to a very end of this wonderful 5th edition, the journey through serious rap pitch, the Balkan Way. And I really want to express a big thank you note to the wonderful jury members, starting with Anna, Rosa, Dina, Filson, Colin, and Wade. You really brought meaningful component and support that was needed for all those stories that we heard and supported today. I believe there are so many other stories out there, and your presence is really meaningful and important for the future editions. So thank you. I cannot express my sincere gratitude for wonderful 2 magicians, Helen and Valeria, for being in this journey since the very beginning and for recognizing the importance to guide the storytellers from the Western Balkans and beyond. And I'm also happy that it went both ways from the side of the participants, but also from your side, because you also started to understand better the region and how those stories can really resonate like with any other European story. And thank you for being always here and supporting the event. I also want to like to thank to my dear Creative Europe media desks in Cyprus, Greece, Hungary, Montenegro and Serbia, because without your help we would not be able to reach out to the projects, and your support is as well very meaningful and important in organizing these events. Also to the technical team, because this miracle of live stream would not happen without them. So Hiperprodukcija, Tuluka, Keto, Berle, they have all nicknames, so I always tend to forget their real names. But also to Blaž, he's my backup and student who really helped me out that I don't feel lonely here. Also thank you to the audience for being patient with us and for being also part of this wonderful journey. And for the end, as you already know me, I always have a statement. This time I wrote it my own statement, so allow me to finish up with the following wording. By giving the floor to emerging voices from the region, we help nurture a sense of belonging and openness within our industry. These stories remind us that creativity can be both a tool for expression and a form of healing, which we all learned today, but also an opportunity to transform experiences into connection, empathy, and hope, which we need more and more in these challenging times. Each edition reminds us that when storytellers feel seen, feel supported, they don't just share their stories, but they transform the way we see the region, but also each other. Thank you very much for being here, for supporting us, and I hope I see you again next year soon. Have a nice day ahead. Thank you.